peace, and prosperity, royalty. Today, I want to share the main lesson that I learned from my death experience. If you watch or have watched Rick and Morty, there are so many different episodes that helped me conceptualize the existence of different realities and different timelines all happening at the same time.
To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
It's a bad phone. Chuck it.
I literally died and was resurrected into a different timeline. My old self died. I prided myself on being of a pure heart and having all this compassion and empathy and consideration for other people, and living a life where I could not do something to harm somebody mentally, physically, emotionally, intentionally. Now, I know people who have had death experiences where they were showed all their wrongdoings and how they hurt other people. My experience was on the complete opposite spectrum. I didn't see anybody. Nothing was replayed for me. I saw nothing but blackness. And because I'm a lucid dreamer, I know what it feels like and looks like to be detached from my physical body as a spirit, as a soul. So I was reconnected with source energy, with the ethers, with the universe, like what it's described to look like before creation. That's what I saw. All the energy was depleted from my body, and I released, I surrendered all of my being. And I remember detaching as a spirit from my physical body. And then that's when I was in nothingness. I was nothing.
Surrender, you coward.
I was a part of that all-inclusive nothing. Now, the lesson that I learned. While I was not living a life intentionally harming or manipulating people for my gain and desires, I was harming myself by sacrificing myself for other people's desires, for other people's gain and their vision. My death experience resulted from a relationship, an abusive relationship. And by the end of it, I am laying in the grass on the side of the highway, fighting to stay conscious. And then that's when I surrendered that, you know what, this might be it. And I am okay with that. So there's a lot of these mini lessons and mini tests throughout all of this. But the biggest test, biggest lesson, of course, I didn't gain it until the months I was bedridden in recovery, and even after. And at this point, everybody was gone. During those months in recovery, so many things I had to recover from mentally, emotionally. I was even in therapy. But it became clear to me that something within myself needed to change. There was no more pointing the finger, blaming other people, waiting for somebody to save me from this dark, cruel, miserable world. I had to take accountability for my part in the life that I had been experiencing.
You want something, go get it. Period.
Because of traumas that I had to unpack, childhood traumas, especially around men and romance and love and dependency and self-worth, self-love, I realized I was chasing people, accepting and receiving connections from people who did not have my best interests in mind. I had a poor perspective of myself and what I deserved. I accepted those. I even probably manifested those connections. We move and make decisions based on our inner beliefs, our limiting beliefs about ourselves, about others, about the world. So that's what it means when people say the world is a reflection of you. There is a whole spectrum, an infinite spectrum of people and experiences that are possible and that exist, that we have the ability to tap into if we know and can receive those realities as true and deserving for us.
Now, reality can be whatever I want.
So when people who seem to have a very good life, the picture perfect, thing that we all think that we are going after, and we wonder why they would decide to mess that up, it is because of their inner narratives. For one reason or another, they're not happy. They're not satisfied. Either they went after something that feels different than what they actually want. They're self-sabotaging because they are too afraid to create differently, and or they can't even accept that goodness because they don't feel like they deserve it. It doesn't make sense to them. They've lived so long in trauma and turmoil and violence and that soft life. Like, everybody say they want a soft life. Not everybody is actually ready to receive that, because people get bored in the quiet. So they self-sabotage, doing something that messes it up. I was causing myself so much harm and pain and trauma. I had believed that I was not good enough. And so I acted in a way to prove that. Look at yourself. Look at your mind. Unpack your mind. Uncondition and recondition your mind in a positive, aligning way. What do your beliefs show in terms of that thing not happening? Something within you believes that you don't deserve it, or believes that you're not ready for it, or you're not prepared for it, or whatever it is. Look in the mirror. If the logical moves are not working, look at another angle. That's the message. I'm gonna leave it there. Peace and prosperity, royalty. Until next time, Hallie Nicole.